Hey there, welcome to the channel. My name's Shane. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the process I took to restore this Singer sewing machine and treadle. This is my Aunt Julie's machine. Its serial number says its date of manufacture was June 6, 1946. So machine class is 15. As you can see here, it has some pretty bad damage in the veneer. As you lift up the top here, you can just see this thing's starting to fall apart. Here we go, let's look at the machine. Serial number on this is AG709433. Looks dirty, but overall everything looks okay. Some spider webs. This did have a light affixed to the back of it and a motor. Yes, it's a treadle base, but a motor was retrofitted. And if you see there, the motor wiring is just falling apart, as is the cradle. I didn't video taking it apart. I'd recommend you use Lost Mountain Restorations on YouTube if you want to see detailed disassembly and restoration of a Singer sewing machine and treadle, or Singer treadle. He does a really good job of restorations over there.
So this is the top structure of the cabinet. So you can see here that I have re-veneered this top, this U-shaped piece, this hinged part of the front, I don't know what to call it, and the top itself. Now let's talk about the top itself for a moment. Water damage was coming in through this side. This is the primary area where water damage was happening. And the way this top is made up is it's glued, it's boards that are glued together. There's three of them, one here, and one here. And what had happened is the water had penetrated in this middle board, had popped up. It was up a good 1/4 of an inch up here and back here. It had basically made a potato chip. And as a result of that, this U-shaped piece is screwed down through these holes right here. And as a result of that, it broke right here, in here. And during the years, I guess, this piece had just fell off or gone away. This is just a piece of trim that's glued in at the end here. So I had to actually remake this. So yeah, when I took this apart, the only thing holding this U-shaped piece together was a little bit of the veneer, which was coming off. So as soon as I took the veneer off of the top and the bottom of this, and you can see I've already finished this a little bit. As soon as I took the veneer off the top and bottom, this fell apart and needed to be rebuilt from scratch on this end here. From about right there down was remade. And it lays flat. One of the things I did with this top is talked about how this was bowed up and this was just completely out of flatness. It was just potato chip. I was able to take and get this down really nice and flat. Over here as well, just planed this whole surface, got it really nice and flat. Let's see if we can see this. I mean, you can't really tell any ripples, anything like that. There is still a little bit of a low spot right here, but I'm happy with that. It's like 2/1000ths, maybe 2.5. I had to refinish this as well, strip all the veneer off the top and the bottom. I've already finished this. I figured that these weren't visible. Not as visible. This is definitely not visible, and I tested the stain and the shellac finish on this just to see how it was going to work, and it worked out really well. It's very, very, very close to the original color. So that's those two pieces plus the top. Yeah. Goes on just like that. All right, let's talk about this drawer for a second. The front, somebody at some point had just tacked on a piece of Luan or some kind of thin, wavy material that the drawer didn't even close properly because it didn't have these little ears on the end. The drawer would just tilt all the way back in, and it just did not work properly. And so I went and found a piece of wood at my local woodcraft to rebuild the front of this. This is basically Brazilian cherry, and this may be sacrilege, but I glued a piece of walnut veneer to the front of it to match the rest of the cabinet, but the inside of this is actually quite pretty as well. It is a piece of Brazilian cherry. It was cheap, and the grain structure matched, and I felt like it was cheap enough to buy, so I did. All right, I'll start the process of sanding this and staining it. All right, I'm finished with that session. I'll continue to let this dry for a little bit, about an hour, and then do it again. See if we can take a look at it. Yeah, the grain is really nice on this walnut veneer. Yeah, I think we're good to go on that one for this session. I'll continue that and do it 2 or 3 more times. All right, so this is the treadle for the sewing machine. It's foot activated. As you can see, there's some rust here. We'll use core seal rust converter on that. We're basically just going to disassemble this, clean it up, use a wire wheel on it. You see how that's starting to dry black? All right, that's good and tight. So what do y'all think about this? I am a novice at this kind of stuff. Just trying to learn new things and discover things as I go. That's why the channel's named Path of Discovery, because it's my path of discovery. I think I've got it as good as I'm going to get it. I'm not refinishing this sewing machine, I'm just trying to make it shiny again, which I think I have accomplished. There's some spots still on it. It still has a lot of its old character. I did not mess up any of the decals. I did not make them silver out any. You can still make out decals that are there. I didn't mess up anything, thankfully. Really nice, don't you think? It's not a refinish job, I'm just making her pretty again. Much smoother action. Let's see, that may be 30, 40 years since this thing's run. Maybe. But look at that. All right, that worked. Motor's done. All right, so motor's plugged into the motor spot. Don't have anything in light, but let's see if it works. Fingers crossed. Lock the clutch. Well, I am very, very happy with that. It works. This is the first stitches this thing has made in decades and decades. Let's try reverse. I've not tried reverse yet. Reverse works. Oh, that's awesome. All right. That's the process I went through to get this restored. Refinished the top, glue up all the areas that needed to be glued up, got the machine working, making good stitches. I think I'm done with this. If you'd like to see more along the lines of this restoration, let me know down in the comments below. I've got a lot of video that I took. This has been this was a quick view of the whole process, but I have detailed videos on some of the French polishing techniques I did, restoring some of this stuff, and just some of the general aches and pains I went through to get this done. If you'd like to see that, leave a comment below, and maybe I'll make some videos on that as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day.